Hey, how's it going, guys? We're back out here by the hive, and today I'm just going to do another weekly inspection for you guys and check out the bees. Last week I put in a frame feeder up at the top to try to help them draw out some combs that were empty in the bottom, and also there's empty combs at the top. So today we'll check it out and see what kind of progress they made. There we go. A couple of bees up top. No queen. Set this down on the ground. See, here's our frame feeder. We'll put it over here, and it looks like they're working on it pretty good. I can see there's a little bit in the bottom, but I need to refill it, so I'll probably come back next or during this upcoming week and fill it back up. But for now, we'll check a couple frames. We'll make sure the queen isn't up here, which she shouldn't be. But I like to make sure before I just take the top box off. All right. Oh, they're finally drawing this comb out up top. They haven't been drawing it out at all. So this is good to see. But yeah, I'm checking through here, just looking for the queen, and she's not up here. All right, this frame I put up here about 3 weeks ago, and it looks like they're just filling up the cells with sugar syrup, which is fine. No queen here. It's very hard to tell on camera, but they're starting to draw the comb out just in this little area, which is more progress than they were making before without the feeder, so that's good to see. Got a little bird comb at the bottom here, which I think they just use those to come up. They use them as a ladder to come up from the bottom frame, so I'll just leave that there for them to use. Same thing, new frame. They haven't made their way over to this side yet. Looks like they're working mostly over here next to this feeder. This is a frame I moved up here 3 weeks ago. They're just filling it with a little bit of nectar. It doesn't really look like they're drawing it out too much, but that's fine. Gives them a little spot to keep some nectar, and hopefully it'll encourage them to move over towards this end of the hive here. There we go. There's a little bird comb again. They're not working on drawing out this frame yet. And the last one, same thing. Nothing yet. So now that I saw the queen wasn't up here, I'm gonna go ahead and take off this whole top frame. I'm sorry, this whole top box. I'll just set it on the top cover here. Okay. We got bees covering all of the frames now, so that's good. I got this nickel here. I was using it for ventilation, but it just fell into the bottom box, so I'll just grab it out of there. As always, I'm going to start over on this side and work my way that way. I'm going to smoke the bees real quick just to get them off the top of the frames. Fresh frames, old comb. Not really doing too much on it. Go ahead and set it down. Second frame is nice and heavy. It's nothing but nectar. On that side, let's see, same thing. Nothing but nectar over here. They're starting to cap that frame up at the top. It should be capped pretty soon completely. This third frame is a frame that I put in here 5 weeks ago. And they are slowly but surely drawing it out. Little capped honeys right there. Capped honey all through there. And capped brood right there. All worker brood. Fourth frame is a nice heavy frame. It's got capped honey all around the edges and worker brood right in the middle. And they're starting to backfill some of these cells that hatched with nectar. And I don't know if you guys can see this, but right there is a little bee that is trying to hatch out. I just think it's cool to see those little things happening as I'm inspecting the hive. And there's no larvae or eggs in this frame on that side. Okay, pretty much the same thing on this side. We got capped honey, capped worker brood, and also right in the middle throughout some of the cells through here there's some bee larvae in there that looks to be about 7 to 8 days old. It's getting pretty big, so they should be capping it soon. Anyway, good looking frame. This next frame is the 5th frame. It's a 3-week-old frame. And the queen is going to town laying in it. You can tell all this brood is just freshly capped. Some little larvae down in there. And also a little bit of nectar on the edges. Look, I got a little honey on my glove. That bee is taking it, happily taking it. Larvae all throughout those cells. Also larvae all throughout those cells. Oh yeah, the queen's been doing good. She got all this this frame laid up. The bees have also been working pretty good, drawing it out. Little bee right there feeding the larvae. Fifth frame going back in. This 6th frame right here is a frame I put in 5 weeks ago. I know she's already laid in it one time and the brood is hatched. So looks like she's laying in it once again. And capped some brood. Got a little larvae throughout these cells. Capped honey on the edges with nectar. Some little larvae down at the bottom right there. Very nice brood pattern on this frame. Queen's doing pretty good. Little larvae down at the bottom edge right there and over here. Little larvae all throughout these cells right there. Looking for the queen, I don't see her. 6th frame going back in. Seventh frame coming up. There's the queen right there. She has a blue dot on her. She's right here. Let's see if we can find some eggs on this frame since she's here. Yep. This queen has been laying eggs or multiple eggs in single cells. So I'm seeing cells with 3 eggs, 2 eggs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eggs, 2 eggs. Some have 1 egg. It's very hard to see in there, but I'll see if you guys can see it in there. See the eggs in there anyway. I mean, I guess the problem is she doesn't have enough nurse bees to cover all the frames and take care of all the eggs that she's laying. So she is she's laying multiple eggs in one cell. That's the only thing I can think of, because I mean, we obviously don't have laying workers in this colony. You know, when you see multiple eggs in single cells, that's the first thing you think of is laying workers, but she's clearly got all worker brood. When the workers lay eggs, they only become drones. So she's making females. So I don't know, that's just what I think is happening, is that there's not enough nurse bees in this colony for her to lay across the whole colony and have enough nurse bees to take care of the eggs. But anyway, there's larvae all throughout this frame. This frame is going to be a good one in you know, about 20 days, 15 to 20 days. All this worker brood will be hatched. All right, so there's the queen. I'm gonna go ahead and slide her back in. I'm gonna check this other side real quick. Yeah, lots of bees over here. Bunch of young larvae throughout all of these cells. Yeah. So this frame is about to be a good addition to the colony. Eighth frame, 3-week-old frame. I don't like to see this kind of rogue comb right here. I might have to take that off so they don't, well, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take it off. But they're just starting to draw this frame out. I'm sorry, girls. You just can't have this. I'll put it right here on the back so they can take their honey out of it. Okay, that should help them out. They'll have to just redraw that comb out through that little section. This looks good. They're working on it. All right, 9th frame. Nice heavy frame. That's kind of hard for you guys to see, but all throughout this comb is pollen and capped worker brood and honey right here. There's also a little bit of nectar, some larvae throughout those cells right there. This is mostly just like a resource frame for the bees. Looks like there's an emergency cup right there. We'll go ahead and knock it down. It's just right there. Make sure there's nothing in it. Yeah, it's empty. Pretty much the same thing here. It's all bee bread or pollen. Worker brood, honey. Good looking frame. I'm doing my inspection a little bit later today. It's around 4:30, 5 o'clock. But the bees are still very calm. I guess most of the foragers are still out collecting pollen and nectar, water, whatever they need. There's the 10th frame. A bunch of capped honey, a little bit of worker brood. Bee hatching right there. What else we got on this frame? Pollen, nectar. And on the back side of the 10th frame is nothing but honey, capped honey. Couple cells with bee bread in it. That's about it. Good to see the progress that they're making. Queen's laying good. Besides the little part where she had multiple eggs and cells, but it doesn't seem to be a huge issue at the moment because they're doing good. I'm just making a little room right now for this last frame to go back in. All right, see if I can get my smoker going again. There we go. I'm gonna throw this top box back on. Get it on here nice and straight for them. There we go. Go ahead and space these out. All right. So I'm gonna have to come back in a couple days and fill this feeder up with 1-to-1 sugar syrup. But other than that, everything looks pretty good. Just give them a little more time to grow and become a stronger colony. Hopefully next week when I do the inspection, I'll see some of these frames up top drawn out a little more. But we'll go ahead and close it up. So that's it for my week. This is week 6 hive inspection. I'll be inspecting it again next week, and I appreciate you guys watching. If you're interested in more bee content, please subscribe because I'll be making more, and I'll see y'all on the next one.